said I got to say something, baby, hand me the mic. I said I got to say something, better hand me the mic. Somebody hand me a mic. Cause I got to say something, so just hand me a mic. When I need to say something, better hand me the mic. I said I got to say something, better hand me the mic.
I said this and I said it on one of the posts and that, like, doing a good deed for someone, it's quite selfish because it's like, what you get out of doing something for somebody else. Say you're having a shitty day, right? You're having a shitty day, and then you check up on one of your mates because you know that he's feeling a bit down in that, and then he's glad to hear your voice, and all of a sudden you're feeling better about yourself. You're feeling better. You know what I mean? You're feeling better about yourself. So it ends up actually kind of. Although it's a selfless act, but it ends up quite, you're getting something from it just as much as what they are. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's the old thing, isn't it? Is there such a thing as a selfless act?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Is there such a thing, really?
Yeah.
We were just talking about it when we Southpaw about gifts.
Yeah.
You've just been shopping, right, Southpaw?
I've been shopping. It's the missus's birthday, and I've got a few bits today, and it was just really nice getting her stuff. And then even
what did you get her, like?
Oh, mate. I can say just also. It's just it's more like sentimental stuff. Like I bought her a phone not long ago, so that was sort of the big one. And then I got her like some nice perfume, tons of little bits.
Have you been seeing her a while, like?
Yeah, about a year and a half.
All right, okay. So it's not just a thing you're doing just to like.
No, I'm fully locked in now. But like tons of little bits that she loves. A big picture of me and her. Like you feel dead soppy, a little charm.
Hey, not wrong, being a bit soppy.
Mate, I swear to God, when I was doing it today, I just felt like a right soppy twat.
I'm with him on that, you know. I like that shit though.
No,
I don't mind me. I'm a soft guy.
Oh yeah.
Like, last day is I'm the one that'll get the more thoughtful gifts. Do you know what I mean? Like,
are you the romantic?
And she knows that. Do you know what I mean? But then when she does it, she's dead chuffed with herself because she knows that. You know what I mean? I would have done something like that. But yeah. Yeah, that's good. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, it's nice, but even today, when you're in that like gift mindset of buying things, this woman was dead stressed and she was trying to get a parking ticket and her phone wasn't working and all these things, and because I was in that mindset, I was like, I got a parking ticket. I was like, there you go, look, I'll give you some. I was like, don't worry about it. You just have a good day, and little things like that. When you
felt good for it,
when you said about the selfless act, I was like, no, I felt mint after doing that. You know what I mean?
You do, honestly. Yeah, definitely.
There's
you do
no
get
such thing, is there?
Yeah, no, you do. You do. Like I say, I don't think there's such a thing as a selfless act, really. I think you're always buzzing.
I agree. I think that you've got to have something in you to want to do something nice for someone. You've got to like have. You won't see, I don't know, horrible people do something for that unless they know they're going to get something out of it, like physical wise or whether it's money or something. Yeah. If you're doing something because people have messaged me to see if I'm all right before, and I felt good that person's gone, do you know something? Someone gives a shit about us. Yeah. And that makes me think, and I do it a lot more now, mate. Like I'll message people and say, "How are you doing?" Or if I'm seeing something, something ain't quite right.
Yeah.
Like with them, or they've said something on social media, and I'm like.
Do you know what? Sometimes if you know somebody fairly well, like you can sometimes there's like a sixth sense, isn't there? Yeah. Even if they've not said anything, even if you've not seen anything, I've known me before just sitting, and just think of somebody. Yeah. And there's been no evidence to make me think these need me to reach out, nothing like that. Yeah. But just something in your head just come like a, some thought.
I agree with that, yeah.
And, yeah, I mean, not all the time. I mean, 9 out of 10 times I'll be wrong, but I've known it once or twice where they've literally said, "It's funny you should message. This has happened."
Yeah, this has happened. Yeah, and you do kind of open up the floodgates, then, don't you? Like, you know what I mean? And they do, and sometimes it can take time out. Do you know what I mean? A little bit. You wanted to make sure they're all right. Next minute you're in a conversation and you're trying to give them advice a little bit, is what you know. Do you know what I mean? As much as you can, but yeah,
it comes with if you're going to reach out and help somebody, like that is. That potentially might mean that you're going to be spending some time helping them. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, exactly. You got to be prepared for that.
Yeah. That's part of the deal, isn't it? That's part of the deal. Yeah. What's going on, Southpaw? We rolling?
Hang on, let me get to my mic.
Oh, yeah.
I need to speak into this, but yes, we are rolling indeed.
So we are rolling. Yeah, listen, everyone that listens and watches, thank you. We appreciate it, Southpaw?
We very much appreciate it.
We do appreciate it. You've taken your time out your day to sit and watch us, and we want to say thank you. So, without further ado, today's guest is a sales manager.
Yes, that's right.
He spent many years in the telesales sector. Correct me if I've got any of this wrong.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah,
he spent many years in the telesales sector. He runs marathons, jumps in rivers, he's a motivator of people. He's an old colleague and friend of mine. We are honoured to be joined today by none other than Mr. Nick Stewart.
Honoured to it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Honoured to be here. There I am. Yeah.
Thank you for talking to people like us. So, you were just mentioning before we started rolling about you're not from round here, right? You're from Fleetwood.
Oh, yeah, from Fleetwood originally, yeah.
I remembered that
Small
just
little
today.
fishing town, did you? Yeah, small little fishing town.
It's part of Blackpool, though, right?
Yeah, well, it's next to it. It's all like that seafront kind of thing. You've got like Fleetwood, Bisbam, Blackpool. It's all connected. Yeah, I would say. Yeah.
So, seaside growing up? Like, what we're talking, ice creams? Was that ice cream, Six of Rock?
For me, mate, it's more arcades. Like,
was it?
Yeah, unfortunately, knocking around the arcades and. Yeah,
is that what it looked like?
Knew all the stuff to do with it, you know what I mean, all the tricks and that, and that was us. That was it. Yeah.
What tricks were arcades?
You know, with the gamblers and all that.
Yeah,
all that, and you used to get the keys and stuff. You sort of turn and see how much you needed to put in to get the jackpot and all that.
Oh, like fruit.
Still used to do that at Webworks.
Did you?
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
I think Jed bought a key. Once, and we used to go quite a dinner time with that.
What, a key to the
fruit
machines?
Just fruit machines. You get like a universal key. You'll put it in. You know, like the ones that go to change them and that. They have a key where you just turn it.
Right.
And it'll give you a number.
Right.
And that's how many basically goes you'll go until you hit jackpot. So you'll know when they turn the key, they'll go, right, okay, well, if it's 100 and odd, you won't bother. If it's only 30, you know you're going to get jackpot in 30 because it already tells you how long until jackpot. Do you not know that?
No. I've not. I mean, you might know this, Southpaw, right? You're big on the fruit machines, though.
Well, yeah, I like a fruit machine from time to time, but I never knew that. I'm writing that down.
I don't know if it still works now, mate. Because they're all digital now, aren't they? When beforehand, I don't know if it's a bit different now, but.
No, I've just ordered one anyway.
No, yeah, shit. Get one on Temu or something.
Do you know, something I want to ask you about, right?
Yeah.
And this is completely off topic, but just before I forget, it's not in the notes. You went to Croatia once.
I did.
Did you, what was your experience in Croatia?
I went to Zagreb, and just outside Zagreb, to get my teeth done.
Right.
It's quiet, but it's complete. I think there's Split or Split. Split. That's where all the the dance scene is and all that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Zagreb's old town, really picturesque and that. Nice place actually.
Zagreb's the capital, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah,
I think it is.
Yeah. But also very small though. If that's a capital, it's it's quite. I wouldn't say small, but it's not everything's happening. It's not like a London. Do you know what I mean?
No. Well, it wasn't that long ago that country was in war, wasn't it? It's a new country, Croatia.
Yeah.
It's only 30 years old. It used to all be Yugoslavia, didn't it?
Yeah.
That's what it used to be. Yeah. The reason I ask, right, I haven't met many people who've been to Croatia, right? I have been to Croatia.
Yeah.
And you know what, right? My experience in Croatia was unlike anywhere else I've ever been. I won't say positive, it's not a positive thing.
Yeah.
Little side things, weirdly, no matter, I went to Split and then I went to Dubrovnik, right? So we're talking opposite ends of the country here, right?
Yeah. It's a massive place, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a big place. But everywhere I went, so it could be a restaurant, it could be a food truck, whatever, the entire trip, both locations, it was if the food, you were ordering the food from the menu and it looked like the stuff we'd order. Do you want sea bass? Do you want a steak? Do you want this, right?
Yeah.
And it would come, but it was as if the taste had been taken out of it. So, I don't know what goes into food, right? But things that make food taste nice. It's as if they were taken out. So, you were eating stuff, and I remember being with my partner at the time, and we were everywhere we go, we were thinking, what's going on here? But another thing, this is where I was going with it. Yeah. Did you feel I felt like the people that live and work there, so it could be people who work in hotels, taxi drivers, they all had an air of something bad happened here. So I just remember this one moment, right, in the back of a taxi, right? It was a normal day, I got in a taxi, and there was this dude driving me. He must have been, I don't know, mid-50s, late 50s, right? Didn't speak, I wasn't looking for a conversation, right? But halfway through the journey, you have a little look to see what he is, what he looks like.
Yeah.
And I could see this Bond villain scar Do you know, like down his lip.
Yeah.
Right? And I was catching him and like he had these scars around his eyebrows and he had this, when I was like catching glimpses of him in the mirror, he had this look of like, bad stuff's happened here. Like you don't know.
I feel it's a naughty place. Like, if I'm honest, like you say there, people look naughty over there. They look a bit shifty, don't they? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You always look. You don't want to mess with. And last time I was over there, I just finished it because I've been twice. I went because I went to get one fixed, one of my teeth fixed.
Right.
And I ended up out with a load of Croatians, as you do. I had a night free last night, and I ended up out with all these Croatians. I thought, I'll just go into town.
Just go for a wander.
I just ended up chatting, didn't I? Just ended up chatting to these random Croatians. I ended up at a christening, right? By the way, christenings are different over there. I don't like. There was no kids there. They're like, it's just like, he just went, oh well, I've got to go to a christening because I'm godfather and all this lot. Obviously spoke English, and I just end up with this. What over here you'd say like a sports club. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they had all like the basic, I don't know, Croatian folk music or something like that. And I'm dancing around doing all these mental dances with me, like honestly. Like, and I just remember taking a second and looking around and going, I'm in the middle of nowhere here in some sort of sports club with wrong'uns. And I mean wrong'uns. And I like, being from Fleetwood and Blackpool, I know wrong'uns, do you know what I mean? And I still felt a bit like, this is a bit shifty. Yeah. But yeah, it was a bit of a mental one. But yeah, I get what you mean. Like they're a bit like scars down their faces. They look like they've been to war, don't they?
Yeah.
Or something.
Do you know, like the people that stick out in my head, there's like 2 or 3 people. I won't like describe them all. These were all of a certain age. Yeah. Right. And that's what I worked out. I was like, shit kicked off here in like the early 90s, right? Okay. That's when it all kicked off.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So it used to be Yugoslavia, the whole country. So we're talking Serbia, we're talking Montenegro, there's Slovenia, Slovakia.
You're better at geography than me.
All these countries, they made up the Yugoslavian state. Yeah. Bosnia, Herzegovina, right? They all made up Yugoslavia. And in the early 90s, funnily enough, side story, Yugoslavia was my first ever holiday.
Was it?
Yeah, as a kid, I got took to Yugoslavia.
It doesn't sound like the exit.
It makes me feel old. You know what I mean? Like when I see pictures of the Yugoslavian war on the telly, it basically looks like grainy black and white pictures. You know, it looks like Second World War footage. Yeah, and you're looking at it thinking, I'm really old now.
I'm just thinking, why not Tenerife? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, but like all these people, like if you think, if my calculation was correct, right, and this bloke was as old as I thought he was, right? You take off 30 years, right? We're talking like, my maths is shit, but we're talking like a guy in his 20s then. Yeah. Like, he probably went to war.
Yeah.
He probably shot people. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, there was a conflict going on.
I feel like over places like that, there's a lot of like militia and stuff like that, isn't it? Like, it's not just, your regimented armies and so on. There's a lot of militia and, they've got tracksuits on walking around with AKs and stuff. That's how you kind of picture it, don't you?
Yeah. So I'm not, I might sound like I know what I'm talking about. I don't have a clue what I'm talking about.
I pretend I know all the time.
Yeah, you just fake it till you make it. But I don't know, I felt this vibe of real, like this guy saw some things, man. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like you weren't there, man. That's what I felt.
That kind of vibe.
Yeah. Stop. Hold up. Before we carry on, just a quick word from our sponsor. Do you have a business? Thinking about starting one? Dash, the bespoke web design and branding experts. When you have a business that needs a professional online presence, when your current website is starting to look a little outdated and tired, when you have an idea and want to see it brought to life online, that's where Dash can help. Dash create bespoke websites built around your business and its requirements, from exceptional e-commerce stores to sell your products online, to beautiful brochures showcasing who you are and what you do. The team at Dash will become an extension of your business. You'll be assigned a dedicated team who will help guide and advise from the initial design brief all the way to the website launch. Not only that, Dash provide full aftercare to carry out any changes, alterations or updates quickly and efficiently. It's like having your very own personal web development team 365 days a year. Dash understands that in today's world, the right online image, exposure and representation is the key to success. Book in a free, no obligation consultation with one of their experts today to see how Dash can make your online vision an online reality. Just visit www.dashmedia.co.uk or search Dash Media on Google to find out more. Dash, the bespoke website and branding experts. So, right, start from the beginning, right? I've got all sorts to ask you, but start from the beginning. You were brought up in Fleetwood.
Yes.
Right. Good childhood, you like that? Fun times? Yeah.
Bit mental, but rough.
Mental how?
It was different back. Like it was different back then. You talk about age and that, and I always see the way kids grow up these days. It's completely different. Like, for instance, stupid little things like dogs used to run around like in our streets. You know what I mean? There was a house like 2 blocks down that was always getting raided by the police, and everyone used to always just come out and like watch it and stuff like that. And there's like, you know what I mean? Just dogs in the middle of the street having it off, and you know what I mean?
They get stuck together.
Yeah, stuck together. Exactly that, mate. Exactly what I was thinking.
Ass to ass.
Yeah, mate. Because they come off, don't they? They're just back to back in that.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff. But you just used to go out calling for your mates and that. And I was a naughty kid.
Were you?
Yeah. I was always with the wrong crowd.
Were you?
Yeah, 100%.
What, just normal like childhood stuff, smashing windows, lighting fires,
nicking from shops, and
nicking
all
from
that,
shops,
all that, which is standard back then.
Yeah.
It seemed like the naughty kids back then as well, which is mental. The naughty kids seemed like the cool kids then. Not saying I was one of the cool kids, but like, you know what I mean. It was like now I feel like naughty kids are just pushed to the side. Smart kids are the ones that have a little bit about him. They're the ones that, you know what I mean, they're getting the attention now. And rightly so, I suppose. But
yeah, mate.
But yeah, so that was kind of my childhood. Moved about a bit, and then soon as I could, Mum and Dad got a pub in Cleveland, which is just outside of Fleetwood.
Right.
So I got brought up with a pub from the age of 10.
Right.
And then as soon as I could, I knew I was going in the army. So as soon as I could, I got out.
You knew you were going in the army?
Yeah, from it.
Really?
I mean, when I say a young age, I remember wanting to be in the army from, I reckon, 12, 13. I just wanted, but back then I just wanted to be a Rambo. Do you know what I mean? Like that. But then it grew with me, and I always knew that's what I was going to do. So I didn't get the best grades at school. And that. I always felt like I was smart enough to get grades, and I passed some GCSEs and stuff. But like, I feel like I could do better. But I knew I was going in the army. I knew I wanted to go in the infantry, and that was that really. Just got out of there.
What's the infantry again? Like ground troops?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Yeah. Do you know? It's something that's always like puzzled me, because I remember being a kid, like as long ago as it was, like discipline was like the furthest thing away from what I was interested in. I couldn't wait to be out of discipline. You know, you had your parents. I mean, not that I listened, but them trying to discipline me, the school trying to discipline me, like rules, regulation, being told what to do, where to go. I couldn't wait to get away from it. And I find it really interesting when I spoke to people, like we had Cameron, big up Cameron, by the way. He went in the military as well. And it's always like puzzled me as to how...
Hardy.
Cameron Hardy, yeah. It's always, amazing guy.
Yeah,
a big fan. But it always puzzled me why somebody can be drawn to want discipline, and more to the point, is it a deep need for that discipline?
I don't know. You know, I had a strict. My stepdad was strict,
right?
And he brought it because he was in the army as well, and he brought discipline. Like when you get told to tidy your bedroom on a Sunday, say for instance, right? It's not the same as the kids these days. You tidy your bedroom and stick a few things away. It was regimented. So when we were out in the army, I found it easy. Yeah, honestly, mate. Like to everything. And I joined army kit. I was in army cadets and stuff like that. Like you know what I mean, from a young age as well, and I know that. But like discipline was, I don't know. Like as soon as I left the army, I'd had enough, and I'd kind of had enough of discipline. And now, I suppose why I've become a manager in the end, like as well, it's like I didn't want it. I wanted to do things my own way, and I feel like I was always naturally that way.
Right.
But then, I don't. Yeah.
So you went in the army at 16?
Yeah, it was straight from school.
How long were you for?
Well, I think I was 4.5 years.
4.5 years.
Yeah.
So you jumped out 20-year-old.
Yeah.
2021.
In the end, I got out of there. I knew. I ended up like I was doing security for the tower, walking around at night. You know, they say it's like the most haunted, like one of the most haunted places in England, the tower.
Right.
Ballroom and that. I was walking around it at night, like 2 in the morning, stuff, patrolling it and stuff like that. That was a bit weird.
I've never been in the tower.
Have you not?
No. So like,
it's got an airy feeling about it.
So like, you go up it, right? And then how big is the room?
Oh no, you see the tower. Everything's underneath it. So underneath the tower, you've got a circus.
Right
at the bottom. I think Peter Kay did a gig there in the actual thing. So you got like the circus, and then you've got like above that, you've got like loads of other stuff. Then you've got the Tower Lounge, which was mental, by the way, back in the day, like £1 a pint and all that. It was a rough. And then, yeah, so anyway, I was doing security for that. And I was with a lass at the time. I came over here doing some work over to Darlow, and I got an opportunity. Long story short, got an opportunity, and I left. I literally upped my bags right one night. I was seeing a lass over there. I upped my bags. I went, I'll keep in touch. I grabbed a suitcase, a small suitcase with a few stuff in, jumped in a taxi.
No way.
To Darlow, and that was it. I've never been back. Well, I've been back to visit and that, but that was me moved over here. Yeah,
just like that.
Like that.
Where were you? Like, who were you staying with? What was the plan?
I was with a lass. I was with a lass at the time, and some other people in like a house share. Oh, it was rough, mate. It was rough. Like, and it just wasn't a lifestyle I wanted. Like drugs, you know what I mean? But like, you know what I mean? Rough all the time. I was more off my head than I was sober. But I knew I didn't want that life. Going back to him before, I knew, you know, like I said before about, I kind of knew what life I wanted, but I didn't know at the time. I just knew it wasn't that.
Yeah.
But as soon as I had an opportunity, something clicked in my mind. I was like, boom, I'm off. Right. So I went, come over here, and that was, yeah. And then started working at Anglian, and then Webworks. That's where we met.
Yeah, that is where we met. Yeah, I remember. As I say, the guy that sits in front of me today isn't the guy I remember from 15 years ago. Yeah. Very different. Yeah. Very, very different. Do you know what? If I'm being honest, and there's just me and you talking here, no one hears this, you seemed back then, you seemed depressed.
I was.
I remember you just like, I mean, you were always nice with me. Do you know what I mean? You always had a laugh with me and stuff. Yeah. But I can remember like feeling like an aura around you that like you weren't happy.
Yeah.
You seemed like you'd had enough then. Do you know what I mean? I never knew your business. Do you know what I mean? I didn't know what the circumstances were.
You kind of got on with it, didn't we?
Yeah.
Like, when you're in that sort of office environment, I mean, people have always got their own lives going on and stuff, and you only really see what's in the office. But to be fair, mate, you definitely got that bang on. I was 100% depressed. I ended up going to like therapy and that, in the end, and
really
and stuff. Yeah, I was in a horrible hole, and I was overweight, and I felt like crap, and you know what I mean, and I was looking for excuses why I was, you know what I mean, fat and.
Do you know you tell the story there that you were overweight? I don't remember you as overweight.
I wasn't to start with. I feel like when we first met, I wasn't overweight, but I'd put all that weight on when I was at Webworks, whilst I was married. I had a comfortable marriage. Not a happy one, but a comfortable one. I used to go home, sit on the sofa, get my tea brought me, and that was my lifestyle. But I always knew that isn't really what I wanted, but it was just comfort. And that's why I'm so mad about. I hate the word comfort now.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't like it because that's what it reminds me of. I suppose, you know, if things remind you of certain things, being comfortable reminds me of being fat and slobby, and that's what happened to me.
Situations like that, from people I've experienced, they haven't gone out, like set out for that to happen. They haven't given up per se. It's just like the path of life. As you say, like you were here, you met a lass, you ended up liking her, you married her, and then all of a sudden, I think people, you know, you find yourself like having like a, hang on a minute, I weigh 25 stone, I've got no life, like, and I think all of a sudden you realise, I fucked up.
That's like, exactly what happened, mate. That's exactly what happened. And I remember, strangely enough, right, I remember being in a car journey. This is how, I knew I wasn't happy anyway, but never actually thought about leaving her. I was on a car journey back from seeing my family in Blackpool. And from being in Blackpool, I knew that I was going to leave her when I got back. And at that car journey, she knew there's something wrong. I knew there's something wrong. And I sat down, I got in the house, I just sat down, I went, I don't love you anymore. And I need to, and it was a brutal conversation because she had no reason. She didn't do anything wrong to me. I just didn't love her. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, she was a lovely person. I just didn't love her there. There was no feelings there. So but something had to change. And you have to sometimes make bold moves. And it's like, I said, I don't love you. And that was it. And that was the end of it. I think just before that, actually, until like, I'd started losing weight then. Because I went on this crap, is it Herbalife or whatever? And it's not, it's a fad. It's a fad, but what it does, especially for somebody like me at that time, it gives you something to focus on. So you know you're allowed to shake at breakfast, you know you're allowed to shake at dinner, and then I just halved my tea, what I'd normally have. My tea from the portions used to be massive, no? So just half that. And that was me, and then I just started training and started getting back into it. As soon as I could feel my life of who I wanted to be and started to lose a bit of weight, I didn't lose all my weight at that point, but I'd lost enough to go, this is the life I want. And I wasn't getting it from that marriage. Right. So I needed to do that, and that's what I did. Yeah, so I made the bold move, said that, and obviously, the rest.
So in the
then I had another little life after that.
Yeah. So in the timeline, I'm just trying to piece it all together, right?
Yeah,
so you've shot up here into the northeast of England in your early 20s, right?
Yeah.
Is that right? I met you around this time, probably a few years after, give or take. You're a bit older than me, right? I'm 39.
42, yeah.
42, yeah. So I think that rings a bell. I think you were about 27, 28, I think, when I met you. Something like that. So this window, right, you've come here, you've got into sales at this point, right? Or you've got into WebWorks.
I wasn't really in sales until I went to Anglian first.
Right.
Did the old canvassing and stuff like that, and then I quickly ended up canvas manager there.
Right.
It was a lot of crap anyway. But and then Dale Jeffries,
right,
got me. He came working at Anglian. He'd already been working at WebWorks, and he'd said basically it was a decent place to work. You can earn decent money. And then I left there for whatever reason, and I started working there. No, that was it.
Right. So
got into sales, realised I had a knack for it. And
yes, it's a funny one, sales. I've often said, like, do you know what? To be good at sales, to have a skill for sales, it's a really, really can be a really, really valuable skill, trait, whatever you want to call it. You know, some of the most successful people in the world have got there because they're extremely good salespeople.
Yeah.
You know, sales doesn't just sort of mean you're sort of ringing somebody up and getting them to buy a product. Sales is in essence the art of seduction. Is basically the ability to convince somebody to do the thing you want them to do. Basically, that can work. You can find yourself in a sales situation when you're at the checkout at Sainsbury's, just not trying to get anything, just selling them, just being nice, being kind. I think where I'm going with it is sales is funny in that it's a bit like a superpower. So this is what I think it is. It's a bit of a superpower, and I think most of the time it's in hands of people who know how to handle it.
Yeah.
But I also think sales can be quite a dangerous thing to possess as well, a bit like a superpower, because sales can get you in trouble as well.
Yeah.
I think that's my opinion.
Do you also get people turn around saying, you can tell you're a salesman?
Yes.
When you're winning an argument, or if you do, you
Yes.
know what I mean? Because my lass hates it. She knows that I'm good with arguments.
Right.
Like she hates it.
Yeah,
Well, she's got better since she's been with me as well, because she's a saleswoman herself.
Right. You can objection handle the shit out of them, can't you?
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's annoying for people, isn't it? When you can argue something, and the way you put it across to somebody, obviously they hate it.
You're mirroring, you're looping. Yeah. Here comes the clause. Yeah. No, I get it. But yeah, so you got into sales. I assume you started making some good money then.
Yeah, I was doing well. I was doing well there. It was. But then you'd end up living to your means anyway. Like, I just end up buying loads of crap. I end up in more debt. I was earning more money, but I ended up in more debt in a space of so many years that, like, I ended up having to go bankrupt in the end. I was like 160 grand in debt or something like that.
Respect. My man. Buddy.
Got rid of it all.
Bye. Do you know what? I see that as a great feat. Like, so for somebody to give a young lad 160 grand.
Well, one of it was a house, because I gave up. I ended up getting a house in Shildon.
Right.
Because I didn't really know the area. Obviously, I moved over here. I'm saying
lovely people.
Lovely people. Lovely people. I know the people in Shildon, so apologies.
Yeah.
But where I was living, it wasn't the best, and it was rough. And I wanted to get out of there, and for whatever reasons, couldn't sell the house. So I just literally, we give the house up, all the money on that, and.
Oh God!
Yeah, it was a rough time. Finances have never been my friend.
No.
Better now, but like obviously it's took a lot of, you know what I mean. My last brother wouldn't agree with that actually, but they said it was terrible. One for had to be worse.
Do you know what? Through my experience, most people who are in sales, I met a lot of young people who all of a sudden started making more money than they'd ever made before through commission.
Yeah,
and I dare say 3/4 of them or 4/5 of them were terrible with money.
Yeah.
And it would just be all of a sudden you give them more so they want more, and then all of a sudden you're looking at Gucci slippers, cocaine, and a tick bill. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Literally.
The thing is because they haven't learned. Because they haven't learned. The people that have good solid money, if you want to call it that, that have saved up from a young age, put the money into something. investments and done all that, they understand the value of money.
Yes.
When you get into sales and all of a sudden you realise you're good at this and money gets thrown at you,
and you've never had it,
you've never had it. You don't know how to handle it.
No,
you know what I mean. And it goes on its good stuff. It goes on a mental life.
You have that mindset. I talked to my business partner about it. We have that mindset of you can just make it back.
Yeah.
Like, because you're used to, like, basically, I mean, it's not really the case, but you can kind of print your own wage sort of thing.
Yeah.
How much you get paid? Well, as much as I want to get paid. That's what sales is.
Yeah.
You know, you don't actually have a set amount.
You sell it to yourself as well, don't you?
Yeah.
Like, I was speaking to a mate today, funnily enough, and he'd bought something, right? He'd bought something, and it was a stupid price. It was a record cleaner, right? It was a record cleaner, supersonic record cleaner.
I didn't know records needed cleaning.
Honestly, mate, it was supersonic record cleaner. So I'm sure it's supersonic or something like that. I don't know if that's the right term. But it's a big machine. About 350, 400 quid or something like that, right? But he justified it because he was getting a refund off. He'd paid too much for Now TV or something like that for ages, been paid double for it. So he justified buying that because he was getting a refund of 200 quid for that. So he went, and it's like, do you know what I said to her? I said, I do that all the time. I give myself a reason why it's okay to buy this, right? Because that's him, yeah.
What on earth? It looks like
Ultrasonic,
a
that's it. Ultrasonic vinyl record cleaner. Well, obviously, he's a mad DJ and he's into it. But, like, each their own. But I'm a sucker for buying stuff, mate. But I'll give myself a reason why it's okay to spend that money because I've just saved it here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they haven't really. It's just like, it's not even real money, is it? You just, like, you haven't really saved it.
No.
Because you've been selling it elsewhere. But yeah.
I didn't know records needed cleaning. I've learned something new.
That, innit?
Yeah.
Put like 6 records in it or something once. It cleans it by vibrating, but there's some sort of fluid. He told me today. He told me the story of it.
Right.
And it vibrates a fluid on it. You know, so you're not rubbing it or scratching it. It just lifts all the dirt off it. And he said it sounds, obviously for DJs and stuff that want the sound, I think it's meant to.
Well, yeah, actually, it makes sense. Yeah. There's loads of
You don't want to be wiping it, do you? You'll
No.
be scratching it.
You know when you sort of...
$2.5 grand. $2.5 grand to clean some records.
That's naughty, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know when
Serious stuff.
you first like went into sales and you started doing well and you started earning all this money.
Yeah.
Is there like one purchase that stands out as like that was the silliest thing I've ever bought, or was it just a crazy life you were living?
Oh mate, I've got something better. I got a loan instead, right? Because obviously, all of a sudden you're getting loads of money in your bank's going, oh yeah, have some more.
Yeah.
We'll get some more money out of you. And I end up, right, so this is where I had the house in Shildon. And I got 20 grand for home improvements. I was going to do a loft out and that, right?
Mm-hmm. Or at least
And
that's
me
what you
being a
said.
salesman, right? For what?
At least that's what you said.
That's what I said to myself. But
Right.
it really, wasn't it? Like, so I bought some skirting boards, right? Which stayed in my hallway for ages, warped and everything.
Right,
the
right.
rest of the money, I went to Nice, Monaco. I literally blew Cuba. I blew it. I blew 20 grand in a space of about 2 weeks or something. 2 or 3 weeks. I just blew it because that's yeah. I mean, I had a hell of a time. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. 300 quid bottles of champagne and all that.
Literally.
just loving it.
Imagine 20 grand, south of France money.
Yeah.
No, mate. No. That's not south of France money. No.
I know it's not, but you.
is
By
for
that
a
time
day.
you go home, you've never been before. You're like, oh, you know what I mean? You just went a bit crazy.
Literally.
The money was gone, and I had a big debt. That went into the bankruptcy, obviously.
Yeah. What was Cuba like?
I won't go back again, but I'm
Right.
glad I went
Okay.
because it's all the old town and stuff. Like I went to an old town called Moron, which is basically like your Havana, yeah, Havana, where you've got like pigs walking down the street and all that lot, and the old ladies just rolling up their cigars and stuff like, and like witch type women coming over and passing you stuff like, you need to buy this, or like they're not saying that, but like you feel you need to buy it or you're getting cursed or something.
Where was it
like,
you
but
went?
It's kind of like a Moron. It's called
Moron.
Moron.
Never heard of
so it. I think it's Cayo Coco is where I stayed.
You sure you went to Cuba?
Yeah, Cuba. Moron.
Moron, Cuba. Because looks helpful. Like, I've heard of Havana in one end and then Holguin in the other. I've never heard of Moron.
There you go.
What? Right, so, right, okay.
So if you look, there's hotels there because obviously because of it, is it the independence and all that? Like,
Yeah.
is it all the cars are from 1960s?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
all the 1960s cars, hotels all like boarded up and all that. It'd be awesome for a horror movie or something like that. But you see it there, like. So it was good to go for the experience. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, once you've done it, it's not a place where I wouldn't want to go back.
Funny, I've been And I had one of the best. I've been a few times, and I had one of the best times of my life.
Did you? Was that in Havana then?
In Havana.
Yeah, that's probably why then. Because so Cayo Coco is kind of it's just like all inclusive hotels and stuff like that. And it's just like on its own little island, and then you cross a bridge, and I think it was. Havana was a bit too far away from there. So you had to I think we all went for 10 days and I think the trip was just a bit too far to go to be worth doing. So they said that's a place a bit like Havana. Yeah, so you get the old feel and stuff, but I'm guessing Havana's a lot better and a lot more to do. And
I mean, it's very hipster, very hipster. There's look, some of the best sort of parties I've ever seen was that, like phenomenal.
Like crazy little dance, like the little...
Yeah, I mean the setting. Like I remember this one night, right? We met some people when we were there, like Cubans, sort of thing. Yeah. And this one night we were getting taken to this private party. Right, it was so weird. I can still remember the guy. Name is called. He was funny enough. He was called Wilson. And I mean, Selpo just joking about that. And we were in this restaurant, and Wilson worked in this restaurant, right? And we had to wait till the restaurant closed. And he's, one of the people I was with knew Wilson well, right? So we were to wait. Anyway, restaurant finished, off we went with Wilson, right? So we're in Old Havana. You know what it looks like. It's beautiful. Some out of a movie, right? Yeah. And you're walking down these streets and, there was nobody in this street, right? It was just old buildings, as far as the eye could see, walking down the street. And all of a sudden we get to this door. And, I'm not exaggerating. It was like a double door, like a castle opens like that.
All right, yeah. Big
but, there was a gorilla spray painted on the door, right? And the guy stood outside, and honest to God, right? I mean, my memory, obviously I'd had a few, do you know what I mean? But my memory is of that, I couldn't hear anything. It was quiet, right? And all of a sudden, Wilson goes on the phone, says something in Spanish. About 10 seconds later, the door opens, and when the door opens, you can hear like the beats in the background. But the door, as you opened, it didn't open up to see a party. It was just opened up to this dark corridor, but you could hear music in the distance. You walk through, and then literally, like some out of a movie, the door's shut. It's pitch black. Yeah, Wilson's in front with a phone torch. Anyway, we start walking through basically the bowels of these buildings, right? And all of a sudden, we get to this opening. Now the beats have got louder. And there's what I can describe as a concrete staircase going up this wall, but it had no banister, as if it fell. So it was just an open thingy, and it went high. And at the top, you could see lights from this room. So anyway, up we go up this thing. Before you know it, right, you're on this half rooftop, half top floor of a building, but where the roof had caved in. So it was weird. So one side of the room was like a derelict building, but the other side is as if the roof had fell in and it became like an open deck. It was mad, mate. It was like a party on a building site, but they got all like mint fairy lights and stuff, and they all had the little hipster round glasses and the beard. Do you know what I mean?
Cool,
real cool people. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Real cool, and the music.
There's only people like you that end up in places, or people like us that end up in random, random parties like that. Yeah.
So trippy, so trippy. Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was amazing.
It's a shame I didn't go to that bit.
Yeah, it's not too late,
It's never too late, mate. Is it?
No.
There's a few places I want to visit.
But you might as well leave your phone at home because that's no use to you over there.
Yeah.
We were there for 2 weeks this one time, and literally I think I connected to Wi-Fi once.
You don't think that's a good thing though?
Oh yeah, brilliant.
Made
the holiday.
We're all hooked on it.
Yeah.
But holiday is one of the one times, mate, that I tend to put it on flight mode, and it's used for photographs. If you're on holiday, you're on holiday. I try to as much as I can. But I think I've seen a couple of things lately. When people talk about a beefer. There's a picture of a beefer, I think it's a DC-10 or something like that. And there's a picture from years ago, and there's not one phone in sight, and everyone's buzzing, everyone's out having a dance. And then there's a picture from this year or something like that, and then everyone's just got the phones up in the air. And it's he's got to take it away from me. It does take it away from me. I get it. You want to take a picture, and you want to experience it, and we're all as bad as each other for doing it. But I like the idea. I think some people are banning phones now, aren't they? In some clubs, some of the DJs you don't bring your phones in, you put them down or whatever, don't have your phones out. And I like that because you get to feel it, don't you, rather than, you know what I mean?
Are you ever going to watch that video again? Like when you make a video of someone singing on stage or whatever, or you're never going to watch it again.
Well, it's not. I'm not being funny, especially if you've been out or it's been a roughing. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them times. I don't want to like. You're waking up next week. You're not going to want to watch it. Not me personally.
No, try it. Yeah, but no, that experience, like you're saying, in Havana when there was no mobile phones. Like for the first day, you spent the first 24 hours constantly trying to connect to the hotel's Wi-Fi. After about the second day, you'd realise it was pointless.
Just give up.
And then you end up, like you do feel out of sorts for like a couple of days, but then a few days down the line, you literally think, I haven't seen my phone in days.
Yeah,
like,
and you're not bothered but you experience everything. And do you know something? You probably remember loads more from that whole day because of it. Like,
totally.
Yeah, 100%.
Because you weren't messing about with that phone all the time.
Cause like we all do. When you scroll, you find out more about home than you are about the place you're at. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, no, I like that.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Like phones, like, I mean,
we all need it. We all need them now, don't we?
No, because to be fair, mobile phones are probably one of the greatest inventions men have ever created.
Yeah.
Probably, let's be honest, it's connected people. It's completely revolutionised everything.
No,
you know.
Yeah.
But it is playing against us as well. Like, because I mean, I daren't tell you what my screen time is on my phone.
Yeah.
You know, I'm clocking like 10, 11, 12 hours a day, like screen time. So that means basically all of my waking hours I'm staring at my phone. That's quite scary, right?
Yeah. Well, I used to wake up first thing in the morning. Before I even went downstairs, I'd be looking at my phone. And I've only just recently changed that. I'm doing this thing called Hard 75. Have you heard of it? It's good.
Yeah.
It's hard. Have you heard of it?
75 hard,
Yeah, 75 hard.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
So I'm on day 10. But that's like, you have to read 10 pages of a book. So I do that in the morning rather than pick up my phone, because that's one of the things. So you basically have to do 2 45-minute exercises a day. One of them's got to be outside. You've got to drink a gallon of water. You've got to stick to a diet, no alcohol, and read 10 pages of a book. Now,
Every day?
Every single day for 75 days. No matter what you're doing, like, you've got to do it.
Okay.
If you fail, if you miss an ounce of water, like, you've got to start again. And the thing is, there's no point cheating it, because there's not, like, you can't cheat. You've got to do it you've got to do it yourself.
How many litres is a gallon?
Go back to day one.
How many litres?
About 4 litres, just under 4 litres or something like that. But because you're exercising, they say 3 litres is it about 3 litres you went to out. But if you're exercising 45 minutes a day, then you need more water anyway. So that's why they say 4 litres, but you've got to exercise.
Some of the transformations are crazy on this thing. Like,
it's really good.
Yeah.
What's his name? Andy. Oh God, terrible with names, me, But you'll be able to find him. I mean, it's really good. Give it a go.
Oh man, I love a fad. If there's a fad.
Well, so do I. But obviously, I've got a mate at work, Tom, and he's basically he's just like me. And so if I say, "Are you doing this?" Which I said, "Are we running Hadrian's Wall on the 28th of September?" in 24 hours. And he went, yeah, all right then. So that's what we're doing that.
Right.
We're going to give it a go anyway.
As you do.
And he said, yeah. So when he turned around to me, he said, right, you're doing 75 hard. I went, well, can't say no, can I? Do you know what I mean? We'll have to do it, so we'll give it a go.
Well, like this 75 hard, right?
Yeah.
In essence, what it's saying is eat right, drink water, exercise.
Yeah.
Basically.
So everyone thinks it's like a health thing or whatever. It's not. It's for mental strength.
Right.
Because you've got to stick to them things. So it's not a diet thing. It's not an exercise thing. It's literally for mental strength to be able to do those things, like reading the book, and it's putting you out of your comfort zone, but making you be disciplined every single day. And like people say you have to do something for 21 days, which is a load of crap, before you get into a habit. And that's why he says 75 days, because you've got to do it for 75 days. It's the same thing every single day for 75 days. I'm enjoying it now after 10 days. There'll probably be a stage in about another 10 days where I'm hating it. And the first 2 days was hard, but I'm into the groove a little bit now. But
were you like, what were you like? Obviously, you're doing this 75 hard thing now, right?
Yeah.
So was your diet good or bad before? Were you not drinking that much water?
I'll be honest with you, mate. My diet's already been terrible. Always been terrible. It's got loads better, especially being with my partner, because she is healthy all the time.
Right.
But I'd still eat crap. Do you know what I mean? But it's just it was better.
Yeah.
But I've always struggled. I've kept my weight down from training. I train a lot. I always have done. Do you know what I mean? Now and again I have breaks, but I train a lot. If I didn't train, I'd be 20 clem. Easy again. My diet's terrible, but the water, I didn't realise how much water I didn't drink. Do you know what I mean? Now I'm sorry. I mean, I'm pissing all the time, like, but
Yeah, that's the thing.
yeah,
Isn't it?
it's a nightmare. It's a bit of a pain in the arse, like for the day. You're just going for a piss every 10 minutes, like.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah, but it's got to be better for you, right? You're just staying hydrated. I can't believe how unhydrated I must have been.
Yeah, I mean, I can remember a time where I didn't drink water. Yeah. You know, not that
You
long.
must be dehydrated after drinking them.
Well, the opposite. Like,
Is that sort of like, does that the water counteract it a bit?
I'm not sure. I do drink a hell of a lot of Red Bulls in a day,
Yeah.
shockingly amount. But it's same. I must be hydrated because I'm pissing every 30 minutes. You know, I'm constantly
Well, that's the thing. See, that's the thing. But when you drink alcohol, they say that dehydrates you. But when you go into the toilet and you're pissing, it's clear. Like I don't quite get it.
No,
Do you know
I
what
don't.
mean? I don't quite get that.
I know.
There must be a theory behind it, but I don't know. Like they say, they say it dehydrates you. Like you wake up in the morning, you're dehydrated, aren't you? After a load of drink. Like, so it must be doing something to you, but at the time you just you're pissing clean. Right?
Yeah, I never thought of that before. Yeah, of course. Alcohol is a liquid.
Yeah,
But
in the army, that's how they found I used it, like hydrated. When you was in the field or anything like that, they used to watch you have a piss to see if it was clear. Because if it wasn't clear, they'd make you drink a load more water to make sure you were hydrated.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I suppose having clear piss is the way of knowing that you're hydrated.
Yeah.
I suppose it's the old school way. I don't know.
Mate, I haven't seen a clear piss since I was a kid, I don't think. No, mate, no. You know, it's funny, Bernie Mac tells a joke about that. I don't know if you're a fan of Bernie Mac, the comedian. Like, he does this joke about, like, the stages of pissing, basically.
Yeah,
it's like when you're a kid, it's like pee-pee. Basically, it's like it doesn't matter if it gets on someone's hand. It's basically just breast milk. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Then you get a little bit older, right? And you reach the second stage, and that's called piss, right?
Yeah.
And that's like it's a bit thingy, you know, like, but you're still relatively healthy. This is your 20s and your 30s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at some point in your 40s or your 50s, you'll hit the third stage where it's not pee-pee anymore and it's not piss anymore. Now it's urine.
Urine.
And
urine. What an awful word that is, isn't it?
Urine.
It's just an awful word, isn't it? There's some awful words about that.
Yeah, man. And that stuff's nasty.
Yeah.
You know, like that takes the porcelain off the toilet. You know, one of them ones where it hurts when it comes out.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, oh, like, it burns, mate. Like, yeah, I think I'm virgining that.
You're
I'm getting there now, yeah. I'm not far off.
Yeah.
I can feel things changing. Yeah, man. No, I remember going for a wee, mate. Like, once upon a time, you know, you not to sound thingy, but you stand at the toilet and instantly you were weeing.
Yeah.
Man, I can stand for minutes. Do you know, like...
Yeah, they don't go all the time.
Come on.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, not right now. I mean, like, I'm running to the toilet all the time.
Really?
Like, yeah, I'm right now. Just through drinking that.
Yeah.
Probably because my body's not used to it, is it? Like,
No.
I suppose I'll get used to it at some point. But
75 and harder.
75 hard, it's called, yeah.
To me, it just seems like eating and drinking water. Like eating healthy drinking water. With
Is.
a book thrown in.
It kind of, that's what I mean. It's not like, you could probably, see, you could stick to that training regime of training, say, twice a day, 45 minutes, easy. And that's why he says as well, it's about mental toughness more than anything else, because you're sticking to, you've got to do all the little things every single day. Do you know what I mean?
It's like discipline, isn't it?
It's just, discipline. Which is kind of where I love discipline. And like, I love discipline in my life, but I also fail with it quite a lot. Do you know what I mean? I don't like the words motivation. Like, I'm all about discipline. Motivation can come and go. Discipline, you know what I mean, is meant to stay. But yeah, you'll also find me being disciplined on a diet and the next minute I'm eating a cream cake. Do you know what I mean? Sorry, mate.
It's like different type. Like, discipline for me, it basically means the same thing, but there's two types. Like, in my case, I love discipline that I have decided and I have set.
Yeah.
I will get up at 6. I will go to the gym. I will run this far. I will eat this today. Succeeding in them things, I buzz off them. I like them.
Yeah, that's the kind of discipline I'm talking about.
But the other way, if someone tells you to do something,
No, yeah, that orders discipline. No, I'm not about that.
No,
either.
man.
No, I'm not. Yeah, no, I'm not good. If someone tells me to do something now, unless they ask nicely, I'm not going to be happy about it.
No.
Like, ask me to do something. I've lived a bit now.
Yeah.
Don't tell me to do something. You don't just ask me. Nicely.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, discipline. Your own discipline. That's what I'm talking about. Is obviously being able to set them goals or say that you're going to do it and do it. Like, getting up early is easy. I'm up at 4:30 in the morning.
Really?
Yeah, 4:30 every single morning.
how are you doing that? How much sleep are you getting?
Between 5.5, about 5.5.
That's all you need.
Yeah. Something like that, 5.5, 6 hours. A little bit more, probably about 6 hours now. I'm going to bed a bit earlier now. Probably because I'm getting older, but like,
4.
yeah, 4 up. out into the gym. Yeah.
What time are you in the gym?
Yeah, I've got a gym in the back garden, so I'm in the gym for 5 at the minute. So what I'm doing, I'm going downstairs. I'm reading a book to get out of the way, probably because I'm illiterate. So it takes me a little while to get. I'm getting better though now. You know what I mean? A few pages in.
The dog was.
And then what happens? I read a few lines, right? I read a few lines, and then I'm like, I forgot what I've just read there. I'm gonna have to go over it again. And
Me
then
too.
read it again. Do you do that?
I've got that.
Yeah,
I thought it was just me.
Oh no, mate. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah,
You get down the page.
Yeah, I'm like so now I'm gonna have to read it again now because I got in. And so, yeah, I do that, and then once I've done that, and I've had my coffee, and then I'm into the gym. And once I think I've just got to the stage now. I used to procrastinate loads about going out for a run in the morning or whatever. So I got this thing in my head now that I just go for one step or just go to turn the you know what I mean, go on the bike and just one rotation. You know, it sounds mental, but it's like that's starting because you just need to start. When you think about just the start of it, it's far easier. So I'm going out for a run in the morning. I'll go out and I'll walk a few steps. Just knowing I'll go out and walk a few steps, you'll soon get into a run because your body knows it's going out for a run. Does that make sense?
It does.
So, and the same, like I'll go out like on my watt bike or whatever. I'll go and I'll just turn my wheels a couple nice and slowly, and the next minute I'm off. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, that's kind of how I've got away with that. So I'm disciplined in that manner. But where I'm not disciplined is my diet. And that's why we're keeping with this. Is like it's something just to go right. Okay, I need to do this thing.
Food's delicious, right?
Mate. Honestly, not right now, mate. I've had nothing nice for 10 days, man.
No, same.
Like,
As I'm sat eating my salmon and greens, and I don't know. Last night, I'm just like, this isn't who I am.
No,
you know.
My lass annoys me with it as well, right? She annoys me with it. I hope she hears this because she does annoy me with it. Like, so you've had a drink, you've had a heavy night in the morning. What do you go for? What do you go for?
Bacon sandwich.
Bacon sandwich, of course you do.
Of course
like
you do.
any other normal
Not a
person.
divvy, do you know what I mean?
No. She goes for watermelon. She loves all the healthy stuff in the morning. It annoys the life out of me. I'm like, I love it, but I wish I was like that. So I'm probably annoyed because I'm jealous. I wish that I could have a night out and wake up and eat loads of good stuff because no doubt your body will feel better, will it? But your body's not craving that, is it? But hers does. Everybody craves like watermelon and that. It does, mate.
You like watermelon?
Avocado and that. I don't mind it. But it's not something I'd think. I'd wake up and I'm thinking salt, bacon. You know, like just something.
That's how it should be.
Yeah, how it should be, innit?
Yeah, that's how it should be.
That's my problem. But I know now, especially at my age as well, mate. I don't know if it's the same as you. I don't know if you're quite there. I don't know, but like. Everything you eat, you feel everything. The weight goes on you. It's just a chew all
Mate,
the time.
if you have a pizza, you'll have a hangover the next day off that pizza.
Yeah, off the garlic and all that.
Literally.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, mate, I can remember like living my life. It was literally drinking and smoking weed every day.
Yeah.
The diet.
I remember that.
Yeah, the diet would be like one pizza per day and nothing else.
Yeah.
You know, full sugar Red Bulls all the time. And you just bounce out of bed. Nothing's wrong. You were just, made of elastic. Just bounce, let's go again. Bounce, let's go again. Do you know?
Just go for a run and that.
Yeah, mate. Now, mate, if I go to the cinema, right, and I have some nachos, mate, I love them fucking nachos.
Yeah.
You know, nachos with that cheese. I mean, I'm a low life, right? Yeah. I'm an absolute low life. I love that. Well, mate, 3 cheeses, please. Mate, I love the 3 cheeses. Yeah. Mate, if I have that the next day, literally, mate, I have a banging headache till about tea time.
Yeah.
Banging headache.
I don't have a headache, but I just feel like crap.
Yeah,
I feel like crap.
Isn't that unfair?
It is unfair as well. Especially when you've got a partner that makes you feel like crap about it as well. So, look at you, eating all the fatty stuff again.
Yeah. Isn't it weird, right? We've got to a stage in life, or in time, where we're talking about artificial intelligence and we're talking about all this stuff, right, that's out there. But you can't make a pizza, like, good for you. Like, you can't make them, like, ice cream.
It's got to be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they do all these different doughs and all that crap. But you're not going to get a healthy one that's nice for you.
I feel like they just haven't.
It's good for you, sorry.
I feel like they just haven't concentrated enough on it. You know what I mean? They spent too long thinking about like energy and shit. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And like how to stop global warming. No, what they should have been. What there should be like a charity for it. Like like a GoFundMe for the world. Let's make bad food good for us. Do you know what I mean? There must be a way. I mean, I've said it about the gym, right? Listen, I train all the time. Yeah. But I hate going to the gym.
Do you?
I hate it, mate.
See, I hate going to the gym. I hate going to the gym.
So why can't they make a tablet?
But I love running.
Just taking it's done.
But,
do you know what I mean?
See, the thing is, right? See, you like conspiracy theories.
Love them.
Right. I know. I was watching your last podcast with
Rob.
No. Titus.
Oh, Gemma and Tara.
Gemma and Tara.
Yeah.
Do you know, I know them from boxing years ago.
No way.
And I met them like
awesome girls.
A few times. It sound as fuck, aren't they?
Yeah, sound as fuck.
Yeah, so I was just watching that podcast you said about conspiracy theories, but off the back of that, you know about Illuminati and all that. And you said there about, is there a tablet to do this or that? Well, the conspiracy theories is they cured cancer years and years ago, but they can't lay it out because obviously they have to think about the populations, they have to think about money, they have to think. It's like, I'm not being funny, electric cars or who was it that made something that could, was it Power New York or something by with like a little.
No, I heard about that. Yeah.
It was. Who is it now? It's going to kill me this now, but all the energy companies and all the oil companies and stuff like that, they did him in, something like that, got rid of all the evidence of, this thing that could produce power without all these fossil fuels and stuff like that.
Right.
Because these big companies, obviously, the amount of money, could you imagine if like, you found something that you could basically power a city with, and it's not going to cost any money. All these, they can't have it, can they? There's too much power. You look at America now and all that. I've just been watching that, what's his name? Well, that nonce that does it,
Which nonce?
What's his name? With the island and that.
Him.
Epstein.
Epstein and stuff like that. We talk about like people going into money talks, especially over in like America and all that. Like, if you've got money and someone's doing something that you don't like or going to get trouble, you can buy out of it. Same with the oil companies. They're that big. Yeah. Do you think they can't let something like that happen? Same way with stuff like that, food companies and all that. Could it be the case of there probably is something out there, but how much is it going to cost these companies? So when somebody goes through, say, university and they found this summit, these people are the first people to find these people, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? These big companies will know the scientists that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Like they can run cars on hydrogen now, right?
Yeah.
But they don't want to make it like a thing. Because there's too much money in petrols and oils and whatever else.
100%. And I feel electric cars as well, to a certain degree, could have come out way before. Do you know what I mean? But
Oh, mate, there's definitely vested interests. Like, look, some of this isn't even like conspiracy. Like, we call it conspiracy. It's just like facts. Like, it's just there's a lot of money in it. So like, the amount of people it would affect and the amount of sort of branches of this and branches of that stopping these things. Same with like. War, do you know what I mean? Like they're selling the weapons and stuff. Like,
exactly. If there's no war, they wouldn't. Yeah.
I mean, there's businesses, mate, that like that's what they sell.
Yeah.
So like, if there's world peace, crazy, like, right? And how many people have shares in this company?
Yeah.
You're part of the government as well. Like, it's all very weird. It's all
very
strange.
Conspiracy about like even like. Was it McDonald's or something? Money went to the Taliban and stuff like that. Like that.
It was the IRA, I think.
Was it the IRA? Something like that. Like,
was that true?
You don't know, do you? But these things you hear, and it's like, do they fund them for a certain reason, or I don't know. No, that's a bit mental.
Yeah,
it's world's messed up, by the way. But we all know.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It's a crazy thing. I mean, you can go down rabbit holes, can't you?
Like, mate, you do it all
sometimes.
Day, all day.
You end up like pacing up and down the house all night, can't sleep. Fucking hell. Like the world's coming.
Googling everything.
Yeah. Right. So like this basically, mate. What you've done is from this chapter we were just talking about. You pretty much completely revolutionized yourself, is what I would say. Just to go back to the whole. You're in that dark place, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
What was there a moment, like, was there some, like, one single event that happened that made you just think, right, fuck this, I'm changing, I'm blah, 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 blah? Because you said yourself, you sat on the couch, you did fuck all, and then...
Honestly, I've got the answer to this.
What is it?
And it's like, people might disagree with this, but when I was at that company with yourself, I used to get called fat all the time. I used it like... Because of the banter around the office, you could get away with it. People didn't care back then. Like, people would call you fat and stuff like that, and you'd joke it off and laugh it off. In my head, it wasn't. Like, you'd laugh at the time, and you'd laugh about it at the time and get on it. I used to go home, like you said, depressed. I was depressed about weight. And I spent a lot of years feeling sorry for myself, rather than thinking, I could just do something about this. And I was sick of being called fat and that.
Right.
So that's what spurred me on to do it. That was my motivation to go, right, I don't want to be called fat anymore. I'm sick of it. I didn't feel good about myself, people calling me fat. So that I suppose that if you're going to pinpoint something, then it'd be that. And then I started losing the weight. And then everything else after that, my life evolved. It evolved, then it went down again, and then it evolved again a bit, and then got a bit higher. Do you know what I mean? I kind of feel that's how my life's gone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I find myself getting to summit, thinking I'm nearly there, dropping. I've always learnt the hard way. I think that's my be all and end all of my life.
From a distance, again, I haven't spoke to you for years, but from a distance, I'm using your words here. There was Fat Nick. That's your words.
Yeah, no, 100%.
You know,
I don't mind that word.
That isn't. I remember you as like what seemed like depressed Nick, but we'll, for argument's sake, we'll call it Fat Nick.
No.
I remember Fat Nick. I knew that person because I worked with him.
Yeah.
Then it pretty much we lost sort of contact. But
we went different ways. Didn't we?
Yeah. But I seen you on social media. Then you became like bit of a party guy, really. That's what it seemed like.
That was the first stage. That was the first stage after losing all the weight, because you start getting interest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Women start finding you, you know what I mean, a little bit more attractive,
and
you
confidence.
could say. And then so your confidence starts lifting, and then that creates you wanting to go out because you feel that women do fancy you, and then you start getting the taste of it. Because I'd spent 9 years married and hidden, so you think that like I'd had that time, and I feel like I hadn't lived my life until that point, and I felt like I had a bit of catching up to do. At that point, I went wild.
How old were you then, ish?
Oof. God, I would have probably been in my 30s.
Oh, 30.
I would have been 30-ish.
Yeah.
I would have thought.
I
feel for a while. I mean, yeah, I feel for a while. I partied, I dipped in and out, and then I went a bit crazy. And
were you partying hard?
Yeah, I partied hard more when I left Webworks.
Yeah,
I left it because for whatever reason, I don't always discuss that here, but I left.
Yeah,
and so on. And I had money saved up at that point, and I spent 3 months not working, and I got flat out.
Did you?
I just got flat out all the time.
I think
everyone back at the house, everyone back at the back at my flat, and that it was rough.
Funny you just said that. I won't share it on the show here, but I do. I didn't know you at the time, but I seem to remember you just saying leaving Webworks. I seem to remember hearing something on the grapevine about how you exited. You know, and what the circumstances were.
Yeah, is this not enough thingy then? You're just going to cut this out?
We don't cut anything out.
Yeah.
No, don't say it. We don't cut anything out.
Fucking hell, nice.
It's live. You know what I mean? No. But I do remember, you don't have to say it, but I'm sure what I heard was correct, you know?
It was a rough time, and I left for the right reasons. I left because I won't have the piss took out of me.
Yeah.
And that was it. But I left with no plan.
Yeah.
And that was the thing, because it had come to the point, and I was like, this isn't happening. I'd done what I needed to do. I hadn't done anything wrong, but I wasn't going to be, you know what I mean? Like, so I left, and then I thought, because of where I was in sales, I felt I could just get another job. And I could walk into another job, but then it wasn't right for me, because I'd become a sales manager at that point, and I wanted another sales manager as well. And so, I had some savings, and I just went, I don't know. It's like having a blowout again. It was just having a blowout, I suppose. I'd spent 12 years at that company. And it was like, all of a sudden it was like, right, I've got 3 months off here and I've got some money to spend. And I went mental then.
Yeah.
And then I found my feet again, luckily, with Dale, who's, in the grand scheme of things, turned my life around. He gave us a lifeline and believed in me. And I hoped I can say that I repaid the favour. Yeah, you know what I mean? Since I've been there, so that was that.
Same, and I haven't, just you mentioned Dale there, so I mean I haven't again spoke to Dale personally for years and years and years. Like yourself, followed him on social media from a distance, and the success he's had, and not just the success he's had, like how much of a amazing guy he seems to be.
He is.
He seems to be like everybody that knows him says. He is an absolute diamond.
I've never known anyone say a bad word against him.
Yeah, me neither.
He's a good person. He's got good friends. Like all friends that he's introduced me to before, you know what I mean? I love them all. Got on with them all. You know what I mean? Like friends from his, you know what I mean? For like Aker, like who up that I've always got on with, because there's just good people surround themselves with good people, don't they? Do you know what I mean? Like, and I feel that he's one. He just people gravitate towards him. Good people, and he has that vibe by it. And like I said, it was weird because where I was with him at Webworks, we was on the same level. And then I went to work for him, which I thought I didn't even know how it was going to work. But because of the person he is, it works mint, because he let me do my own thing. He trusted in me. He gave me a pat on the back when I needed it. And that helped me, you know what I mean, progress. Yeah. So that Yeah, no, he's good. Obviously, yeah, I love the man. I love the man. He's a good man.
Yeah, I've got plenty of time for him. Like, don't speak to him much, but I've got plenty of time for Dale
It's one of those
Jeffries.
things, isn't it? We don't speak like same with yourself, mate. Like we all do it, don't we? Like you get on with your own lives and that. But it's that I love to see people doing well. Like I don't know how people, you get people, that are slagging people off and sort of saying that jealousy. A lot of it, isn't it? Some people are just jealous of people. Like and I remember when Dale left Webwork to go and start up himself and. You were sort of looked at as if to say, like he'd done the wrong thing. I remember saying, "Good on him, good on him to go and do something with, with it." And look where he is now. You know what I mean? So it's it's nice to see people doing well, mate.
Yeah, he's to be honest, he's inspiring Dale. Like Dale's an inspiring guy to me. Well,
that's what you want around you, though, isn't it? As well.
Yeah.
Like I love being around people that inspire me. Like all the time. I feel like as I've got older, my circle's just gone.
Yeah.
Like so small. Like you'll associate with people, you'll be nice to people, and I don't not like them people, but I'll associate with people that I feel that benefit me to a certain degree.
Well, so we've had this let's call it a sessioner time. I guess only people in the Northeast will know what sessioner means.
Yeah.
But isn't it funny, right? How like a lot of ex-sessioners always end up climbing mountains.
Yeah, I've heard this so many times, but it's true.
It's true. I heard it the other day and I was like, yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Literally, that's like the go-to thing. Do you think it's like sessioners, right? They're addicted to like dopamine hits, right?
Yeah.
So like...
Yeah, 100%. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is, where you get dopamine from. So like, I'm mad about that. I'm mad about dopamine. I'm all about it. I believe in it.
Ice baths and that.
Yeah, I love it. And obviously I do it as well. So it's like, I agree. Apart from the fact, I was climbing mountains before I was a sessioner.
Well, yeah.
In fairness, I was doing it. I was doing wild camping and stuff before.
Because now, like,
you just wouldn't have known about it because obviously social media and stuff. I wasn't. Oh, look at that hair.
Didn't even recognise you.
Oh yeah, that was only a few years ago. To be fair, that
was it?
Yeah.
Well, they've done a good job, Nick. I'll give them that.
Because now you're a bit of a Nick Goggins now, aren't you? Do you know what I mean? Like you're running like that's what it is.
I love that man. Don't get me talking about him. Some people don't get him, and he rubs people the wrong way. But if it wasn't for him, I feel like I definitely wouldn't be like some of the stuff, especially regarding fitness and stuff. It wouldn't be. Oh God, look at some of them.
How long ago was this, Nick?
I don't know. Have a look.
2018. So you were climbing mountains.
Yeah.
Even then.
Yeah.
See, in my head, I thought this was the reaction to like the party times where it's like that's gone now. It's
just happened more. I'm able to enjoy it, and plus my partner enjoys it. So I get out with, you know what I mean. Like I get out with my partner a lot. You'll see that on my Instagram and stuff. That like she loves wild camping as well. Now I've got her into it, and it's like some people that are partners that are different. For me, I feel like I needed to be with somebody that enjoys my shit because that's what I want to.
Who's your partner, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, Ashley Ma.
Very nice. How did you meet?
Through work.
Through work.
Yeah, through work. Yeah.
Right. Colleagues.
In Florida. Yeah.
One of them.
Yes.
Right. I get it.
It's a long story, but yes, it's yeah. We're very, very happy.
A lot of people.
We were both with people at the time we met, but it wasn't. Now I'm speaking about it, I'll just say it. People thought that. So when she was working, everyone thought we was going out for runs at dinner time, and everyone thought that because I started running the Great North Run, so I was going to run the Great North Run for a charity that she does for her brother who took his own life. If You Care, Share, it's called. Suicide charity. So.
Really good charity.
Yeah, I'm glad. So we do a lot. So Ashley's got a trust in her brother's name with If You Care Share. We've raised 40 grand so far, 40 grand so far. And that's why we did the waterfall challenge and stuff. So she got me doing that because she knew that I was into running, so she got me doing that. Right. At that time, I never thought she'd look twice at me. She's a worldie. Honestly, I never thought, like, you know what I mean? Never
way
thought
out your league.
Yeah, way out of the league. Way out of the league. Never thought she'd look twice at me. So everyone at work with that. When it happened, I'm going to go into it and stuff, but everyone thought that we was literally going out for runs on a dinner and like shagging in the bushes or something like that. And it just really didn't happen like that. Basically, the one day that it happened, we ended up speaking. Shortly after that, very shortly after that, we left our partners and we're together. So like, I feel like, yeah, it was, might not have done the right way to start with because we was flirting and stuff from that short period, but it's happened and
I think the majority of people meet people like that.
Yeah,
you know. If you had a scale of like how many people meet the person they're with, I bet you more often than not, one of the two of them was involved in something with someone or both. You know what I mean? No, it's very rare you get two completely single people nowadays. Like,
it is rare. Obviously, it's difficult, and obviously there's other people involved, and it's not good for them people. But you can't help how you feel, can you? And it's like that. Unfortunately, you can't. And I don't regret one minute of it. I'm happier now. I swear to God, I get emotional about it. Like, I am so happy, like, in my relationship, like, without a doubt. Like, I've never, like. Everyone has a wondering eye. Well, they used to, like, especially when they're younger and stuff like, oh, thinking, I don't have that anymore. I don't if that's combined with age. Like a wondering eye, like, right. Do you know what I mean? I just don't. But probably because I can't look past her because she's gorgeous. Do you know what I mean? I can't look past her, so I don't really. You know
so you've reached the point in life where you don't look at any girls whatsoever.
Nah. I don't feel like I do. Not necessarily in that way.
South Paul, you bring a picture of Emily Ratajkowski up, please.
Oh, you can't be doing this to me, man.
I'm not going to do that.
Don't really. Look, it's just a joke. Look, it's pretty.
I mean, listen. I know a good-looking woman, and she knows a good-looking lad. You know what I mean? It's funny about it, isn't it? It's like, I love your dad, bud, but I love your dad, bod. But when she sees a six-pack on TV, she's like drooling and that. I'm like, oh, come on. Do you know what I mean? They'll do it.
Do we have to watch Magic Mike again?
I know, It's the sixth time this week.
It's true, though. Yeah. Look, it is what it is, right? Yeah. But that is beautiful hearing even you say that. Like, it's something that I've wondered if that exists, you know, through my life. I don't think I've ever reached a place in my life where I can say what you've just said.
Yeah.
I've never reached that place yet.
Yeah.
I believe it, you know, I've seen people like yourself get to that place. Yeah. But I don't know whether you're the type of person that's prone to that situation. Like, from my experience, you're a relationship guy.
Yeah.
You are a relationship
apart
guy.
from that period where I wasn't. There's a period definitely where I definitely wasn't. But I did, I think there's always been a bit about me that's what is security.
Well, you got married at 21. So
exactly.
It's there, isn't it?
Like, my mum's an insecure person. Like, she would, and she has been, and stuff, and I feel like there definitely is a level of that with your parents and stuff. Maybe not for everybody, but I feel like my life growing up was never secure. Like, it never felt secure. That's why I was never bothered about going away in the army, and I've never been bothered about settling in a house. I've always been, you know what I mean? I've never been necessarily about that, but yet a relationship is something I've always fell into. Do you know what I mean? So it's different.
Yeah.
But I feel, I feel it's just life's a funny one, isn't it? Like you end it. I've gone in so many different angles and different paths and so on, and it's like I said, there's so many other times, mate, in the past where I've said, I'm happy, and it's not until you find, do you know what I mean? But I feel like I'm quite accomplished. Like, in my head now, not accomplished in life. There's loads more that I want to do, and there's loads I could be better at. But in my head, I feel accomplished. If that makes sense. Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense. Yeah. There's lots of.
I know what's going on, and I know what needs to happen. If you know.
Yeah, but happy's like, say, if I think about my life, there's been times like you've just said where I would say at that point I was happy. Doesn't mean you stay happy. You know, happy can change. You can be happy at one point in your life, but then circumstances change and then you're no longer happy. Yeah. And that's fine. That's just the tapestry of life, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what? I read something lately about like happiness and that, and it sort of strung me. Is that like, what is happy? Like, what is happy? And there's people that don't believe that, like, there's another word that you can use instead of happy, which basically means fulfillment. Like, are you fulfilled rather than happy? Because, like, everything... To be happy, you've got to go through hardship. You've got to go through hardship and do stuff and accomplish things to be happy. So there's got to be, you know what I mean? Is it a case of fulfillment rather than happiness? Like, what is it? It's like, if you hadn't have had bad things happen in your life, like, say you've lived your life and there's nothing bad happened, none of your family members have died, nothing's ever happened bad in your life, would you know what happiness is? Would it, because you with happiness, you've got to have experienced sadness. Because you wouldn't know what happiness is. You would just be you, wouldn't you?
I get the concept. I get the train of thought.
And that rings me because obviously I've seen trauma. I've seen trauma around me, and it's like, it's not a nice thing. You can't say, well, oh, you're glad that's happened, or it's thingy. But you also appreciate happiness. Or what you would call happiness afterwards because of them times.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Bit deep. But.
I think if you've had absolute, if you've been to hell and back, to be honest, I think you just happy is just hell and back not happening anymore.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
Yeah. I remember when I was young, naively, thinking I was never happy.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have my Ferrari. I didn't have my yacht.
Exactly.
I didn't have my private helicopter. But now, 20 years later, after what's gone on in life, I'm now at the point, like, when I get into bed on a night, as long as nothing bad's happened that day, I'm a millionaire.
Yeah.
I'm a millionaire.
Do you know Jimmy Carr said, I watched something with Jimmy Carr, and he said about all this money and stuff like that, you could speak to any person in 25 years, no matter what you've earned, you have yachts and stuff like that, but if you turn around to that person and offered him to be right where they are now, 25 years earlier, to get all that just for your youth and all that back, you take it, you give everything away. You give 100%. Everything away to it just to have it. And I think things like that, I'm not saying I've got it figured out, because I definitely haven't, but I feel like what I'm doing now and I'm doing stuff that I enjoy. I'm putting that first. I'm putting going out, getting out to the lakes whenever I can, experience things and so on. Make sure the kids are right, make sure the kids are going on holiday and so on. But experience stuff rather than making sure, but listen, you need money to have a certain sort of lifestyle and live that. I'm not saying you don't need money, but I definitely don't believe that is my priority. I believe it's something that I know I can earn, but that's to fulfill a life of doing stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, actually get memories. Memories far more important to me than what the other stuff is. Do you know what I mean? Like you said, and that's why sort of being healthy and that starts mattering. You want to be healthy for the kids. You want to be able to run around the kids when they're a bit older and stuff like that. So, like
you say, when you're on your deathbed, let's hope that's all for us all. We're very, very, very old people. Yeah. Like, your currency at that point isn't traditional currency. It isn't pounds and dollars and no. Your currency then is moments, really. Yeah. That's what your currency is. Yeah. It's like, that's all that really matters when it's all said and done.
100%. Do you know what? I've never got it, mate. I've never got mega rich. I've never got the mega rich. I've never understood it. I've never understood how a person can have billions of pounds. And I've never been able to understand this. I've always wanted money. There's been a stage in my life where I've definitely wanted loads of money. But I've never understood somebody that can have billions of pounds where they could literally take a bit of that and live the rest of their life happily and not worry about money. But it must be an addiction regarding business, running massive big corporate companies and stuff like that. Because when, in the end, on the deathbed, it's like they've saved all this money. What are you going to do with it? Tyson Fury said it best. You don't take any of it with you. It's all borrowed, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's literally all borrowed. You can't take it with you. So what's the point? Do you know what I mean?
No.
As I get told, I need to save some money up and stuff like that.
We all do.
I get told all the time that I need to be better money and stuff like that. And I know I do to a certain degree, but yeah, it's not me.
You know what, like you say, you don't take it with you.
No.
It's there for living. My mum, shout out my mum, she is of that mindset, Don't get me wrong. If you said, "Mum, would you like £1 billion in the bank?" she would just say yes. But she's always sort of the belief and the mindset that live your life now. Don't sort of save, because that might not happen. Do you know what I mean? That's the thing. No one's promised 80.
Yeah, exactly. I've sort of been told now that I need a little bit in my bank just for emergencies to make the emergency a lot easier to deal with.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So that, because it was sold to me the right way, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. I'm okay with that. Yeah. I'm okay with you know what I mean? To have a bit of money in the bank, anything goes wrong, that's gonna cover you, and it'll just relieve the stress at the time, or to relieve that. So I'm okay with that. But above that, I'm like, no. Everyone's talking about leaving everything for the kids. Well, what are they going to do? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true. No, it's true.
At some point, somebody has to use it.
I think for people I think we're probably cut from the same cloth. I think I was never taught money management. I was never taught the importance of saving for rainy days and stuff like that. My memories of being a kid was things out of a catalogue. Everything was on tick. We didn't answer the door when the window cleaner came round. We had to keep quiet Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's my memory.
Mate, we had 50p TV from radio rentals, man. We put 50p in the back of the TV, man.
Yeah, man, that's rat bastard.
But my dad,
That's rat bastard.
but my dad used to know how to like get into the back of that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
man.
Get to the back.
Yeah,
Don't
man.
use the 50p.
I had a friend had a £1 telly.
Yeah.
You'd be fuming, right? I can remember sat on the couch on a sleepover watching Scream, you know, something like that, Scream 1. Sitting watching it, and everyone like, oh my God, this film's great, drinking, and all of a sudden telly goes, and no one's got a pound.
That line goes,
yeah, and no one's got a quid.
Yeah.
You know, like no one's got a quid. And you're asking the man for the quid, and she's kicking off, you know. Oh, mate, the quid tellies.
You know, back then you could ask your neighbour though.
You
Back
could.
when I was a kid, you could ask your neighbour.
That's mental you just said that, because that's literally what he would do.
Yeah.
You know, this guy I'm thinking of, if there wasn't not one in the house, they'd go next door.
He's gone
Can we
next
borrow
door,
£1, please?
Yeah.
Never.
You get away with it, wouldn't you?
Wow. That probably brings back memories. So, listen, the waterfall challenge.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
Yes.
What's a crack?
So, I'm glad you asked about it. So, basically, a few years ago, I started wild swimming. A lad called Mike Mumman got me into it. And there's Mike in the middle there. And it was, to be fair, it was Mike that came up with the idea. I'd been telling him about the charity through Ash. And he said that he fancied doing something like regarding this, because he just jumped in waterfalls for fun all the time and dives off them and stuff like that. There's Mike on the right. And so we just come up with this. Between the three of us, we come up with this waterfall challenge to raise money for If You Care Share. So it started off three of us. It started off with three of us doing it, and one of my mates came and sort of took pictures, and I think he jumped into a couple at the end.
You, your girlfriend, and Mike.
And Mike, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and then a lad called Harry as well came with us on the first one. So this is the last one that we did. There's Hamish on the left. You see him wearing a dress. So the year before that, he had to wear a bikini, right? So one of his mates' dad said, if he wears a bikini on jumping in a different bikini every single waterfall, I'll give you 500 quid to the charity. So he was like, no bother, so he's done it. And then this year he said, I'll give you another 500 quid if you go in a dress at everyone. God bless him. He's a good man, Hamish. He's a good man. And he did it. And do you know something? It's a tough day, you know. It's a tough day. So we started off, I think, 10 waterfalls in 10 hours. And then the second year we did it. And then there was like 12 of us. And there was like 20 of us like this year. So like 12, we did 12 in 12. And then this year it was like 14 in 14, or 14 in 12. And it's a tough day. It's a tough day. You're getting wet. You're hiking to some of them. You're getting in and out of your car, soaking and stuff like that. It is a challenge. I'm not going to lie. But everybody that's done it is like, I want to do it again next year. And that's why it's got so big. Because the camaraderie, everyone gets together. They know it's a great cause. And this year as well. So a friend, Gaz, unfortunately lost his son to suicide. And got in touch. I don't know if I said we got in touch with Ash and said like he wanted to sort of do it, you know, with us this year. And again, because Ash's what happened is it's on Alex's anniversary, Bro's anniversary every year, or literally around it.
Okay.
And it's about doing something positive on that time, rather than sort of, you know, just feeling all them, you know, shit emotions, which are obviously expected. It's about bringing something positive to the day. Do you know what I mean? So he's done that. And then when Gaz did it, he's felt the same. And it was like, at the end of it, it was like, he's so glad he did it. The way everyone got together, you know, it's just something positive with it. And honestly, mate, like what a day. And I would recommend anyone give it a go. Like it's going to be bigger and better next year. It's really grown, and like, it's just amazing. That's at the end of it. Like, obviously that's at the end of everyone. So that was just, they've got a picture like that. I don't know if you can find it on there, but there's like basically 3 of us there, and then there's one of like 12 of us, and then it's got to that. And this year as well, when we turned up, the amount of spectators, we had loads of spectators and stuff that are really involved and that have been following us on social media. And it's just nice, mate. It's just nice to know that people get together and are there for each other. Some of the people there struggled. Really? But everyone got together. Do you know what I mean? Got together and pushed them through it. And obviously, it's raising a lot of money for an unbelievable cause. Obviously, If You Care Share, suicide charity who's just had government funding pulled, which is fucking awful, mate. I tell you something. I'm glad you brought it, because you had Andy Hutton on. And
man. Recently. Yeah, great guy.
And so I got in touch with Andy a bit back. to chat with him, and me and Alice had a video call with him and stuff, and chatting to him, but to try and do some, because he's been doing stuff with the
Never Throwing the Towel.
Yeah. And so I thought it was a decent collab, you know what I mean? So nothing's been sorted out yet, but I'm sure there might be something happening in the future. But was it on this podcast, or he was on a different podcast, and he mentioned it about a monster, an invisible monster going around. Have you heard him say this? I'm going to read it to you, tell it to you, because it's amazing, right? And it's always about suicide. If there's a monster going around the UK killing loads of people, right? The government, literally just killing. What is it? The death rate, the biggest death rate is suicide between the age of 18 and 20, something like that. The government would go mental if it was a monster going around killing people. You know what I mean? Just killing people, just running around killing people.
Yeah.
But if that monster was invisible, how mental would it be? They'd put everything in. The government will put everything into it because it's killing more people than anything else is killing. What the government's saying to suicide, they go in.
In 2022, there was 5,642 registered deaths by suicide, which is
15 a day.
It's just
50. So you imagine there's a monster running around the UK killing 15 human beings a day. What do you think the government would do about it? They would go mental. They'd have the army on it. They'd have everything on it. They'd everything. But yet this is, but it's invisible. You can't see it. So you've got this, and they're pulling funding. They're pulling funding from it because I don't know where it's going, but they're pulling funding. So this is why obviously Matthew, who runs If You Care Share, got in touch with Ashley and sort of asked her, is there anything else we can do? So obviously we're taking the Waterfall Challenge sort of to the next level, where the charity is now sort of be recommending people to the Waterfall Challenge, and we'll be running other events for other families that are suffering and want to do something positive, and then we're going to be doing other events for them. And that's why she sort of started the page on Instagram, and that's kind of the vision moving forward, because the government ain't doing anything, so they need all the help they can get now. So it's
just fantastic to see people like yourself and the Anthony Huttons of the world going out and creating these days, and making it known that this is a real issue that people are struggling with. So, hats off to you, mate.
Yeah. Well, like you said, it's kind of saying off that, saying obviously the government would throw this in, but if they didn't, and this was happening, you'd all have to up arms, wouldn't you? You'd all have to just chip in. Yeah. And I feel that's what people are doing now. I feel people like Annie and stuff, and people, I feel it's making a difference. It might be small, but if you can save, when I started the Instagram page, the reason I started my Instagram page, so it should be on prescription, is I wanted to try and raise a bit more money.
Right.
And we're doing this, running Adrian's Wall on 28th of September. But it was kind of getting difficult to ask people for money, because you do. It's like you kind of scrounging, and understandably, you don't want to be asked for money all the time, and I get that. So it was a case of what else can I do, just to see if we can help people have better mental health and get motivated in certain sort of ways. I don't know who's going to reach, but I kind of had a plan in my head that if you can help one person, I can literally help one person that watches something that I put on Instagram and goes, I can do that. I can get positivity from that, and I'm not going to be in a dark place tomorrow because of it. Then it's worthwhile. That might have took thousands of pounds to get somebody to speak to somebody on the phone and pay for that. You know what I mean? Somebody to do it. So that was kind of the idea behind it. But yeah, there you go.
It should be on prescription.
Yeah, it should be on prescription. So the name came from. Me and my last took her mum out walking in the lake. She was a bit stuck at the time. She just wanted to get out and do stuff. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, as you can guess, she's obviously been through a lot of trauma. So we took her to Blencathra and took her for a walk up Blencathra in the lakes. Took her for a walk, and she just was walking down from it, and we knew it would make her feel better, because obviously we always feel better when we go for a walk in the lakes. Yeah. And on the way back, she said it should be on prescription. It just should be. Mm-hmm. So it stuck with me, and then when I did that, I was just thought that's what I'll name it, and just a case of just showing people, trying to get people out there and do stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think it makes a difference.
Yeah, as I talked to my friend about this a lot. And again, I hate saying this because it seems like every show I'm saying something about like exercise. Like, I'm sorry if it sounds like a broken record, but like, it's medicine, right? And exercise will not make your problems go away, right? If you've got life-ending, real problems in your life, you going and training like a lunatic for an hour is not going to make your problems go away.
No.
But what it will do is it will change slightly how you look at them. And that could save many, many lives.
Yeah.
Because, again, God, I can't even comprehend, your lass and that family and stuff, condolences to them. But just through my little mini nothing problems in life, living in my little bubble, after you've exercised, doesn't have to be nothing intense, can be a walk. Toilet can be
100%.
Be a walk,
Yeah.
Something.
I think I said that one part. Like just get out. Just get out,
just
get
do
a bit of fresh
something,
air.
and it'll change. It'll change. It'll just take the edge off.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's enough.
100%.
Sometimes that's enough.
100%. Can I end it for a piss?
Yeah. Oh, to be fair, we're going to wind it up in a minute.
Yeah.
We're going to wind it up. Give us 5 minutes because I'm nipping and all. Yeah.
That's good.
How long have you been rolling Southpaw?
1:30 just coming up.
Yeah, that's a sweet spot apparently.
Yeah.
Somewhere between an hour and 30.
Yeah.
We've done 2.5 hour, 3 hours. Who's watching a 2.5 hour, 3 hour podcast
Yeah,
from some divvies in Darlow? Do you know what I mean? Like, no one's doing that. You might get them for an hour. Do you know, if it's interesting.
I'll just keep wiggling here for a little.
Yeah. No, mate, I've been nipping for half an hour. I'm getting warm. But look, so I just want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Before we do a few plugs. Motivation. How do you stay motivated?
I just try and turn it into discipline rather than motivation. Right. I know that I'm not going to feel motivated every day.
So you make yourself do it
just
anyway.
literally, like I said before, is put one foot in front of the other. Like literally put one foot in front of the other, or turn your legs, or just move something and then go from there.
You know what? I never looked at it that way before, but yeah, damn right. Only the luckiest are motivated.
Yeah.
Very, very few are motivated.
100%.
The rest of us have to drag our lazy asses out into that. Don't think, just because you feel lazy. No, that's 99% of us.
Don't think I like getting up at 4:30. I don't. I just know that I need to.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to be ahead of people in the day. I've had half a day before work starts, and people turn around and say, like, why am I like this? I go in the morning, and people are getting ready, the staff are getting ready, and they're just like working up. Like, where are you getting your energy from? I've been up for 4.5 hours.
It's middle of the day.
This is the middle of the day for me. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go.
Soon,
exactly. Yeah. And thankfully, the energy keeps up. Yeah.
So the Waterfall Challenge.
Yes.
It should be on prescription.
Yes.
How do people contact you? How do people get in touch? How do people join in? Tell us the score. Add on Instagram. Just add us on Facebook. Drop us a message if you want to get involved with the actual Waterfall Challenge. Just drop a message in there, and actually I'll be get in touch. Regarding should be on prescription. Just follow me. You'll get some tips. That's what it is.
Yeah,
and
man.
people can find it just by going on any of the social platforms and typing in
just TikTok and Instagram.
So it's Waterfall Challenge.
The Waterfall Challenge.
The Waterfall Challenge, and it should be on prescription.
Just should be on prescription.
Yeah.
Should be on prescription.
We'll link it all below.
Nice one. Cheers,
Going to be
mate.
linked, yeah?
Yeah, fantastic.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Listen, that is the end of this.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for joining us. Got anything else, Southpaw?
No, just some great messages today. And if you care, share what a great charity, we'll link that below as well.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah, beautiful. Listen, everybody, thank you for watching. This has been People Like Us. We'll see you next time.